Excited to be back home. Got a great opportunity against the top 10 team. Um, I think I can probably confidently say it's the most complete team we played since I've been here. I mean, um, they're national championship good on defense. I mean, they're really really good. And then offensively, got a championship caliber quarterback, a lot of playmakers. Where they're great is they're big on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I mean, they dominate the line of scrimmage. Um, and then, like you'd expect, the team from Miami have great team speed. So proud of our guys, the way they're attacking the week. They're excited the challenge. It's a great challenge, but we're excited at the opportunity to get to play them and get to play them at home here at Ford Stadium.
You mentioned the championship level players and staff that they have. Does bringing in this caliber of opponent help motivate the team? Does that make that any easier?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be motivated every week, so it doesn't matter who you play, where you play them. But if you're not motivated to play a national championship contender this year and a top 10 team that, I mean, is just littered with future NFL players, then you're not a competitor. I mean, that's why these guys came to SMU to playing games like this. That's why we moved to the ACC to playing games like this. But it's a great challenge. I mean, they're really good. I mean, even the game they lost, it was literally. I mean, Louisville's a really good football team, first and foremost, but they gave up one touchdown drive. It was the first drive of the game, and it took a fake field goal to get to the one to score that touchdown. The other two, it was a first-round NFL player making two 50 and 40-yard runs with a drag pass. So they're just most games they give up one touchdown drive, if that. And so I think the two times teams got in the low 20s on them, Notre Dame and Florida State, they got behind and they were just clawing back and scored some late ones. So they're just it's a challenge, but we're excited for it. I mean, our guys get an opportunity to play against a really good team and a really good staff and a really good program.
Looking at the film offensively from this past weekend, just what stood out to you when you got a chance to watch it back and kind of where?
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst offensive performance since we've been here. Not even close, hands down. Like I told you after the game, that's my responsibility from the play calls, the prep, the adjustments, all those things. It is a weird deal because we didn't have a bad week of practice. Our guys prepared like they were ready. We didn't lose because we were overlooking anybody or trap game, all that crap. I mean, you saw how our defense played. We lost because we absolutely executed at a horrific level on offense at every position, and starting with me. And so, when you do that, you play a defense that gives up 20 or less a game. I mean, they're going to expose you, and they did. So it was the worst performance we've had since we've been here as a staff, one of the worst I've been associated with. And all you can do is own it, man. We executed at an absolutely atrocious level. We deserve the result we got offensively by how we played, not because our kids don't care, not because they're not connected, not because they were checked. The level of execution and the missed assignments and just the turnover, the sloppiness, the stuff. I mean, it was a perfect storm of how to not get out of your own way for 4 complete quarters, which is rare. Even a lot of times when we're struggling, we pull out here or there. And every time we'd get something going, we'd grab a guy's face mask or we would, whatever, you name it. It's exactly what everybody thought it was. It's that bad. But it's also one game, and we're the same football team that the week before played really well on the road against an elite defense. So it's life. You got to learn from it. You can't dwell on it. You got to strain and move forward. And only thing we can control is what's next. We can't go backwards. So we're not going to sit around and mope. We're going to attack what's coming up.
The injuries on the offensive side of the ball, I mean,
Yeah.
It just seemed like a list. Can you update some of those?
Yeah, like I said, it was a comedy of errors that all compounded with losing 4 starters in the first half too. I mean, we lost Hibner. I'd say he's questionable. He's improving. We're optimistic, but we just won't know till later in the week. Same thing with Logan Parr. And then Savion Byrd has been able to do some things limited, so we're optimistic. But again, he wasn't able to come back in the game, and he's not full throttle. And same with Chris Johnson. All those guys are trending better, but late in the season, it's just are they able to get back in time to be good enough to play on Saturday? And obviously, if they are, great. And if they're not, then the guys that come in have to perform better than we did last week when they get those opportunities. And then Cam Robertson's obviously we didn't play him last week. He wasn't cleared. It was the best thing for him, but also to give him a chance to try to play this week. He's not been cleared yet, but he's kind of we've got a list of guys in that questionable, and they're genuinely questionable.
Shoddy gets breaks
Yeah.
through that nice touchdown run. What have you seen from him to obviously get those opportunities?
Yeah.
And is Dramico, you guys are bringing him?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think the deal is, you get at a certain point in the season, Dramico missing the first game hurt, and then we were trying to bring him back to the fold, and then game 3 and game 4 and game 5, and then, his grandmother passed, and he had to miss and go to a funeral and do all the things that he needed to take care of, and a lot of that compounds with being a freshman. It's just hard to play catch up, and, we were there for him and made sure he had what he needed, but the team has to continue to move forward. So I'm not going to say he won't help us this year. But it may be that the window for this year kind of passed. We still think he's going to be a great player. But that's where Chris Johnson had been coming on. Hopefully we can get him back. Obviously, TJ, and then, we're hopeful. I mean, Shoddy has now been here long enough to know what to do. He got here like a week and a half or 2 weeks into fall camp. So first 4 games of the season, he couldn't have played because he didn't know the offense. Now he does, and you see he brings a good physical downhill presence. Really hits the hole, and when TJ hits the hole that way, he's really good too. So those guys got to know who they are, run to their strengths, and so I think you could continue to see both those guys. You'll see McFall in a variety of ways, and hopefully we get Chris back. I just don't – D'Amico needs to be ready, but at this point in the season, he's probably just lost a lot of time to be able to play at the level that I know he'd need to as a freshman.
The challenge play from last week's game, what did you see to call the timeout challenge?
I was more shocked. I thought he got the first down. I was starting to call the next play, and then all of a sudden it's 4th down, and the play clock was running down. I was going to have to burn a timeout to even punt at that point. And as excellent as we've been on offense, we probably didn't need to go for it on 4th and 1 on our own, whatever that was. So it was kind of more in shock that we didn't get the first down. And so at that point, I can take a delay game. I can burn a time. Well, if I'm going to burn a timeout, I might as well challenge it. That was really it. Clearly, they're pretty good in our league that if it's close, they'll stop and review it. But at that point, I was out of time. I was going to have to burn one. I might as well make them look at it. And sure enough, we didn't get the first down, and we got to get the first down there.
Miami and just what they bring to the table with that defensive line, what stands out about what they do from a defense?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the best defense, I think, across the board we've played since we've been here. Just because there's really no weaknesses. I mean, Ruben Bain, first-round pick, Mesidor and the other guys are high NFL draft picks. Their D tackles don't get the credit they deserve. I mean, from Moten to Blunt to all those guys they're loads. I mean, they disrupt internally as much as they do on the edge. And even when they aren't running around people, they're pushing people. I mean, they're powerful and explosive. Really good combination unless you're playing them. Their linebackers can run. I mean, I know Wesley Basaint was there. We were recruiting him. He's a really gifted player, can run. We got a couple transfer guys that are good players. The nickel, Scott, who came from Auburn, is arguably one of the best players on their defense. I mean, he's a big-time player. He's a great blitzer. He can tackle. He can cover. They got long corners that can run, and both their safeties are going to play on Sundays. So they do a really good job, one, with their personnel. I think their DC is really good at – they probably have 4 or 5 main calls that they just run over and over a bunch of different ways. But what they do is it simplifies it for their guys so they can play fast. But they present a lot of different pictures to the offense, if that makes any sense. It's no different than as an offense. We want to seem complex to the defense, but not to our guys. He strikes a nice balance with that. And so they give you a lot of problems, even though they're not overly complicated. One, by their personnel, and two, by they allow their personnel to play fast, which is great coaching. And so, and what they do better than anything besides stop the run, rush the passer, get off field on 3rd down, on and on and on, is they just don't give up explosive plays. I think they're averaging about 5 a game, and so, yeah, I mean, when you can do all those things, they're a complete defense. They don't have any weaknesses. There's not like, hey, we can attack this, or hey, we can attack that. We're going to have to execute at a high level. We're going to have to be incredibly physical. We're going to have to make a ton of contested plays, whether it be throwing the football, running the football, to grind out. Like I said, most people average maybe 1 touchdown drive a game. That's how good their defense is. So, but that's what they do. That's their scheme. They're really well coached. They do a great job, and they got really good players who play fast and are bought into what they're doing.
With Kevin, how is he physically? You know, I know it's something
Yeah.
he's probably just going to have to deal with, you know, throughout the year and has been. But the screen game has been a big part of it. But any other tweaks, I guess, to maybe get the ball out quicker?
Yeah, Kevin's hurt. I mean, Kevin's been playing hurt. Kevin, he's on that list of questionable people. I mean, he's a competitor. If they'll let him play, he'll find a way to play. I don't think he nor I would tell you that's an excuse for how we played last week, because he's been hurt in some other games and played better. So, but it takes its toll. I mean, it's not just Kevin. It's the whole. We're beat up. We were really beat up, but nobody feels sorry for us. And the guys either got to play beat up. That's football. I'm sure they're beat up too in certain ways, and then if not, other guys got to step up. In terms of Kevin, I mean, when you have a consistency of performance like he's had for so long, when you are, even when we don't have good games, consistent on offense as we have, you don't take one game and throw everything out and just panic. You take it for what it was. It was a really poor performance, aided by a good defense who they deserve a lot of credit. So you just got to try to learn from it. I mean, we're going to game plan how we feel like we need to attack the opponent we're playing, regardless of his health. And if he's able to carry out that game plan, then there's nobody else we'd rather have out there. So, yeah, without giving too many competitive things away, that's what we'll do.
Probably going to be sold out. I assume
Yeah.
there's only a couple seats left to get back in front of the home crowd and wash everything away. It's probably going to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's good to be home. It's good to be playing an opponent that is this talented, this good. But yeah, I mean, we need Ford Stadium loud, and I don't care if it's 11 a.m. kick. Great, we can reverse Boulevard. We need everybody there early. We need energy in the stadium. Our guys feed off that. You think of last year, all the home games we had. I mean, I know they were night games. It doesn't matter. You think of Florida State and Pitt, and even BC was an afternoon kick, and TCU was too, and Cal. Like the energy that we fed off, not just from our students, the stadium as a whole. Our players feed off that. We need that. We need it to be a rowdy 11 a.m. kick. And, again, no different than our team. This is what our fan base asked for. So they need to show up and have our guys back, and I know they will. And our guys are going to play extremely hard, and they're going to give everything they have to try to find a way to win.
Is Kill Washington maybe somebody who's probably going to –
Probably at this point, he's a lot better, but he's still never been cleared. And so at this point, with only a few games left, first and foremost for him, it's probably in the best interest if he doesn't get cleared, then try to pursue the year medically and maybe get it back. But he's still not cleared, and it's just been something that happened the first game week of the season practice and has just lingered and lingered and lingered and then just taken a long time to heal. And so he's not cleared yet. But even if he got cleared late, and again, I don't know if that he will in the regular season. So hopefully he can keep healing and get the year back, and both for him and then maybe even for us, that'll be a good thing for the future, but it doesn't really help us right now.
What did you think of the response from your team out there today, just getting back?
Yeah.
It's kind of sleepy morning, too.
Yeah, they responded well. It didn't feel sleepy out there. So we got a good bunch. We got a competitive bunch. It's unfortunate we didn't grind out that game. You got to find ways to win when you're not your best, and we didn't do it. And we've lost 2 games this year on games we should have won, and probably made any number of 10 or 15 plays we'd have won them, and we lost both on walk-off kicks. And only people who are responsible for that are us. So, but like I said, all that stuff in the past, it won't help us or hurt us. Whether we won that game, we still had the same challenge coming in here this week, and it was going to be the same 2 teams, same people, same time, same kickoff, same TV channel, and that game will be decided by who plays the best on Saturday, not how good either one of us did or didn't do the week before. So I think our guys are good. I think they've got a good maturity about them to move forward, and they're excited. Like I said, a challenge to share a field with a top 10 team here at Ford Stadium. It's been quite a while since we beat a top 10 team, so hopefully we can go out there and give them a game.
Last one for me, but special teams, kind of what you see on some
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah, special teams. Our operation was poor on the one backed up that we shanked. You know, I mean, you can line him up. Wade's hurt too, guys. Wade's got a bum knee, but he's out there punting his butt off. But his first two kicks weren't good. We didn't protect or kick the first one well. The second one wasn't good. After that, I thought we did a nice job. He kicked it better. We covered. We got a turnover. Even the last punt of the game was a great punt to put them in a really tough spot. So we've been pretty good on that unit this year. But those first two kicks, I mean, again, our defense played good enough to win the game. We really would have had a shutout. If we don't shank a punt and we don't turn the ball over on our own 10, we'd have shut them out. And that's where I think it's frustrating to lose with that kind of performance. But, yeah, we got to be better in the kicking game. We missed the field goal because we didn't get the laces spun. He kicked the laces. And then we got extra point block because our freshman got ran over. And, you know, he's going to be better for it, but it doesn't help us right now. And that can't happen. All those things are unacceptable. They're not, oh, well, we got to get better. No, that can't happen on punt and field goal unit if you want to win at this level.
Corrections that need to be made.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough one. You know, just losing in general, but it was definitely a tough one. We know we could have, executed a little bit more better to make more key plays and all of that stuff. And that's what we lacked. We lacked energy. We lacked just doing our assignments, and the results showed.
Was that maybe like one of the worst games you've kind of been a part of?
Right. Yeah, I would definitely say so. Definitely here. We scored one touchdown as an offense. We had many opportunities to score more, and we just didn't do it. So it was definitely one of the worst games I experienced here.
How do you not let that type of a game beat the offense again this week? I know Miami's
Right.
a different animal.
Yeah, just definitely just going back to knowing who we are. Going back, watching film of things that we did good. Plays that we have made and stuff like that. Just looking back at stuff like that, knowing that we can do it, and and it starts with me just motivating my team, reminding them that they can do it, and not let them stuck on themselves. So.
Obviously disappointing last week, but it seems like on paper there's no better way to get back than this week. When you back at home, first time in a couple weeks, sold out crowd, top 10
Right.
team coming in. What's that like?
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing just to be a part of this. We got Miami coming in, top 10 ranked team. It's a homecoming for us. So our students are gonna be there. Dallas gonna be there for us, and it's just chance to show that what we did last week wasn't really who we are, and just showing on national TV.
Is this the best type of game to watch last week away? I mean,
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
just kind of flush it.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's definitely an opportunity to play a good team coming in, just to reset and flush everything that happened last week. Playing against a great team like Miami, we can't come out flat like last week. We can't do none of that stuff. So we just gotta, make sure we come out there and execute. And it's definitely a great way to get back started.
Is there anything that you kind of can point to that maybe you look back on it and you say, okay, that's maybe a part of why the performance was what it was last week?
Yeah, it definitely starts with me. Just not having the team motivated enough, not having them, energized enough, and also just a couple plays I could have made to put the team in a better situation. And I didn't do that. So I think it definitely starts with me, and I could have did way better.
Looking at this Miami defense, they've got talent everywhere, but what stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely just that D line. That D line is pretty good. So just knowing, trusting my O-line, trusting that they would get the job done, and me just being in the pocket and being pretty comfortable. So just honestly just trusting that I know they got a good team all around, but definitely just the D line.
When it comes to finding some of the easy ways to maybe pick up the chains and keep things moving, what have you guys identified as far as some of the things that you guys can do to maybe make some of those higher percentage throws or easier things?
Yeah, just not overcomplicated stuff. Just sticking to things that we do best. We kind of just looked at that things that we do best, and we just putting that in the game plan. Kind of adding some different things to it, but just doing executing the base game plan. Just getting short and simple throws.
You mentioned adding some things in. Have you guys really been able to use that whole kind of playbook between having Jordan out earlier this year
Right.
to Hibner's now banged up and the running backs kind of been banged up? Is that you guys are kind of working with that whole playbook?
Yeah, definitely. We know different players can do different stuff, so just getting the ball in those players' hands. Jordan made some key plays last week. Just getting the ball in his hands and him go making plays. McFall, Derek McFall, and just stuff like that. Just knowing our guys, knowing the personnel, and knowing what they can do. Just try to put the game around now.